You doing YouTube? What I'm doing here is I want to show you this little rig that I thought of for my some of my gigs where like I'm playing at a festival where I'm not running my own sound, but I have to go into a soundboard. I play with tracks. These tracks that I play with, I record myself. I record all the bass, the drums, everything myself. So I thought to myself, instead of carrying around a mixing console, how can I carry around something that's much easier to set up, that's going to fit on a mic stand, that's going to be very quick in setup and tear down. So this is what I came up with. First off, I want to talk about this little middle box here. This little middle box is a box made by Peavey. Actually, it's been discontinued. They don't make it anymore. It is called an ADI-Q. What it is it's a equalizer powered direct box with equalization built in. So when you have it plugged in, I will show you the front and the back. I will unplug the stuff out of the back here so I can show you what it looks like. Okay. So we'll start with the back, which is not normally what people do, but we'll start with the back here, okay? Starting from the left, you have local out. You have a switch down there that says process through. You have the 15 volt DC power, and then you have the low Z output at negative 20 decibels. And then you got a ground lift switch down here. And this can be powered without having to put the adapter on it. You can also power it with phantom power if you've got something that will accept phantom power. Like if you go to the mixer from here and you go to the mixer and you turn on phantom power, it will power this. So the local out would go to your whatever instrument you have, like whatever amplifier you have, like a amplifier, maybe a powered speaker or whatever. This switch down here, this processor through, what that does is when it is plugged in and using phantom power, or it is plugged in to the 15 volt adapter, what it will do is it allows you to use the equalizer, because the equalizer will not work without being powered. So then you have your ground lift here, which we all know what that does. It cancels out like any 60 cycle hum or any kind of buzzing that you may get. And then you have your low Z output, which of course, as I said before, is at negative 20 decibels. Makes for a quiet signal. So with this box, I've had this for years. I bought it originally for keyboards because I had a keyboard that had no onboard EQ. So I wanted to figure out how to EQ my keyboard without having to carry around a mixer. So I came up with I found this little thing. Okay, so now we're going to put this back on the board here. Okay, so when we look at the front here, what we have is there's your instrument input. Then you have your bass, your mid. This is your mid-frequency sweep. This knob here is your mid-frequency sweep. And then you have your treble. So it's a three-band EQ with a mid-frequency sweep. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that I found from Sweetwater. I love Sweetwater. If you ever get a chance to order from them, I'd say do it. This little box right here is it's made by Rapco Horizon. It's a direct line box. And what it does is when you have anything with an 1/8 inch signal like this, like iPad, iPod, CD player, like Walkman or whatever, this plugs into it. And basically it takes that signal and takes it into a low Z output, because right here you've got your, if I can pull that out well, but you can see it anyway, but it goes XLR out. So what I've done here is some of my tracks, I need to adjust the volume, and I need to adjust a few other parameters. So what I did was I came up with this little, it goes from my tablet that had my tracks on it. From here, it goes in this volume control. As it goes from this volume control, it goes around to the equalizer. And of course, this will be powered. This will equalize my signal. So if I got anything that has maybe a little too much bass, I can just dial down the bass. Or if got issues with the mid frequency, I can adjust the mids, give a little more high, whatever. And then out of this, because as I said before, your direct output, which is the XLR output, does not process through the XLR output. That's a line level output. So you don't get, it's not affected. So when I flip that switch to process, what it will do is it will process the incoming signal, but the only way for it to affect the signal is through the back here with the local out, which normally would go to an amp or whatever. So what I'm doing is I go from there. This will go from the local out, or the quarter-inch out. And I've got this little jumper cable. We're going from it to a little IMP2, Whirlwind IMP2, which basically is bringing it back down to line level to the XLR output. So with this little system, I should be able to mount this, and it's mounted on a little tray made by On Stage. It's made for like accessories, like it's not made for what I'm really using it for, but I'm going to try to see weight wise. This isn't too much more than I've got a little light controller by Chauvet that is that weighs about as much as this weighs, much as this little system I got. But technically what I've done here is I've made myself a little one channel mixer with a direct out. So I will see how this works tomorrow, and I will most likely do a follow-up video to show you how this little system works. Like I said, I came up with this system so I would have all this on this little tray that I can mount on a mic stand, and I don't have to carry around a mixer, because I've got this little system that's basically just for my tracks, so I can control what I'm hearing. So got a blues festival tomorrow I have to play, and I think this little system is going to work out pretty well. So leave any comments down below. Please, nothing negative, because there's enough negativity in life. We don't need all that. Just trying to show you guys a little techie stuff. But hopefully you got a little something out of this. I know this was a little learning experience for me, how to run things in a chain. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you later. Until then, God bless.